Thanks for joining us again. Today we're gonna go over an awesome one. This John Deere 3039R with Deluxe Cab. Let's get after it. Okay, you're joining us on a really chilly day here in the Pacific Northwest. And so it brings me a lot of pleasure to actually film one that I can drive around in a nice warm cab. Now, this cab obviously has AC in the summer as well, but this time of year, that heat is absolutely worth its weight in gold. So it brings me a lot of pleasure to bring this one to you. We don't generally feature a lot of 3Rs on our channel. Why? Because we don't get a lot of them in. They're a high moving machine. They come in and they're out very, very quickly. I happened to catch this one right when it came in, so I wanted to make sure I got it for you and brought it to you as quick as I could. All right, this 3039R is outfitted with a 320R loader. That 320R loader is gonna give you a lot of lift capacity. It's definitely gonna be a bump up on the 3Es. It'll be a little bit less than what you get in the 4Rs, but you're gonna see that this 320R is gonna absolutely perform. It does have John Deere Quick Attach on the front, so it's easy to take on and off. I could put different implements on the front of this, pallet forks and whatnot, very, very simply. Obviously, this one's outfitted with a 61-inch bucket. That is perfectly sized for this tractor. That is about the width of the tractor, is about 60 inches overall, and so 61 inches is what your bucket width is. Of course, it's got a nice hood guard protector on there, nice and curved. They do make an actual expanded metal guard that goes in behind this, so that is something that you could add onto the accessory list when you're ticking things off. 39 horsepower, that's gonna give you 39 gross horsepower, and then you're gonna have about 30 to the rear PTO. So you're gonna have a nice amount of power to send out to the PTO on the back of this one. They do offer this tractor in a 33 horse, so a little bit less, and a 46 horse, so a little bit more. This is a turbocharged engine. Why do I like selling turbocharged engines in the modern day? Because turbocharged engines tend to run a little warmer. And so if I've got that warmth, then all of a sudden my diesel particulate filter, which this has to have because it is final Tier 4 compliant and it is above the 25 horsepower threshold, that turbocharger tends to run a little bit hotter, and thus it's absolutely cleaning out that filter a little bit more, a little bit better. I have noticed with some of my naturally aspirated customers that they say that they go into the regen cycle a little bit more than my turbocharged customers. Now again, what we always recommend is keep your RPMs up a little bit higher than you normally think you should. So I generally run mine at about the 2000 RPM just when I'm putting around the house. I do like that when you keep that up, that you don't go into regen quite nearly as often. All right, a little bit more about that 320R loader. That is a Quick-Park Loader, so I have the ability to quick detach this. Again, the mechanism on this, I've shown it in another video, is really simple to take on and off. It's got the kickstand that's integrated already into it. Just a great, great unit. I also will note that unlike some of our other machines, these arms are curved a bit. And so what that does is it lends itself to a little bit more visibility out front. You'll notice that when you get up there in the driver's seat, you've got really, really great visibility. That's one of the things that John Deere does in the 3Rs and the 4Rs, I think better than anybody else, is they've maximized visibility out of there. And I will tell you, the cab on the 4R isn't much bigger than this. It's just a little bit different configuration on the inside. They use a very, very similar cab on both of those units, and so that visibility is great in both of them. As you can see, this one's outfitted with the R4 tires. There is two different R4 tire options on this tractor. This is the bigger of the two, so the back size is a 43 by 16 by 20, and your front size of this tire is gonna be 27 by 8 by 15. All right, so John Deere's coming into the modern age. In recent years, they've upgraded a few things. This one's no different. We have LED lights on the front. We've got LED work lights. Because this is a deluxe cab option, I have LED work lights on the back as well. So that's nice that it comes directly with that. Let's talk about a few things you get with the deluxe cab. Okay, so right out of the gate, I was talking about you get those rear work lights. Additionally, you're gonna get, right out of the factory, a air ride seat. That air ride seat is awesome. I will tell you, it isolates you from any of those bumps and bruises. As we all know, tractors don't have suspension on them, so that seat is an absolute lifesaver. Additionally, in this cab, we're gonna have a Bluetooth stereo. I can hook my phone up to it very easily. I can make phone calls. It is a nice, quiet, serene space in here, so I have the ability to make those phone calls and continue on with my work. This tractor is also outfitted with the mid-mount PTO and the third function electronic control valve, okay? This control valve is actually ported to the rear. Okay, why do they do that? Well, because some people like to use snow blowers. Some people are using flails that you can hydraulically offset. So that is nice to have it out to the back. Matter of fact, I think I like that configuration more because all I need to do is add a kit and I can go soft line all the way up to this midpoint and go hard line out to the front for about 565 bucks. I can go ahead and outfit that. And so I have the best of both worlds. I can have it rear when I want. I can unplug those hoses and have it just go out to the rear, or I plug those hoses in and I have it come out to the front. Now again, this is an additional option, but if I wanted to have that third function on the front, for example, for a grapple or a front mount auger, I would have that option. All right. Speaking of front mount augers, you have a nice hydraulic flow rate on this tractor. So you've got an overall 15.3 gallons per minute flow rate. Implements are about 9.1. So I do have the ability to add a nice front mount auger to this and it run pretty efficiently. It is not a skid steer. It's not that kind of hydraulic flow. It's not a high flow unit. It does have limitations, but at least it's got some pretty decent flow rates in there. This tractor is outfitted with an eHydro transmission. You can also get it with a power reverser, but in this configuration, I've got an eHydro, got a low range, a mid range, and a high range. And then I can obviously use my TwinTouch pedals to go forwards and to go backwards. It also comes with a lot of electronic assistance as well. So I have the ability to set auto throttle, for example, which automatically ties my throttle to my foot pedal. And so that's a really nice feature that this one comes with. Additionally, I have the ability to adjust my coast. So if I wanted to come to a really abrupt stop, or if I wanted to, I was on soft turf, I wanted to come to a very slow, kind of gradual stop, I have the ability just with a knob inside there. Really, really nice that it comes with that right out of the gate. Of course, I have cruise control on here as well. I've got load match, which is a feature that if I'm going into a pile of dirt, it's not gonna let itself bog out and kill itself. If I try to bog it down too much, it will automatically kick up the RPMs for me. So again, a lot of electronic assistance just to help me as a new tractor owner. And even for me as a little bit more experienced owner, I do love those features. Coming around to the back of the tractor, I've got my fuel tank back here. So I've got 12.3 gallons of fuel capacity in the back of this. This cap is tethered. So again, if you're looking at those municipalities and you don't want to lose that cap. Of note, this is about 2 gallons more than you get in the open station version of this same tractor. So a little bit of increase because of the bigger cab size, nice long run times. I do have a wiper washer fluid container on this side so I can fill that up. You've got the Category 1 style hitch that's easily adjustable on the back here. It's got some premium features to make it super simple to adjust. Nice and shiny right now. Of course, this end of the tractor generally gets pretty dirty very quickly. I do have that electronic third function that's ported out to the back. And then of course, I've got my slow moving vehicle sign that is removable if I want to take it off and get a little bit more visibility. The cabs of these tractors are just a nice place to be. All in all, it is just a really nice thing. So you're gonna see, if you're familiar with the 4R tractors, this is a very, very similar configuration. I've got my 4-wheel drive right up here on the column. I've got all of my lighting functions off to the right-hand side and my throttle controls. I do have a tilt steering wheel in this unit, so it's nice and easy to get in and out of. Of course, I've got nice premium cloth all the way around to include a very, very well insulated headliner. Additionally, I've got a nice cup holder and large storage compartments. Coming down to the ground controls, of course, I've got divorce brakes, so I have the ability to brake steer if I need to, which is great. TwinTouch pedals on my right-hand side, my gear selector lever on my left-hand side, all my loader controls, and my 3-point controls are on the back. Of course, I've got a really nice, robust switch panel on this side that I can add more and more features as I go and I grow with this tractor. I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview of the John Deere 3039R with Deluxe Cab. This is a nice place to be. I will tell you it's not an inexpensive place to be, but I will certainly say the value with all the things that you get with this is there. I really like these machines. Again, Pacific Northwest temperatures can be all over the place. This climate controlled cab definitely takes care of that for us. lets us be a little bit more productive. And I will tell you, if you ever go to a cab, you probably aren't going back the other direction. It is just a nice place to be. I always liken it to, if you got heated seats in your truck, you'll probably never buy another truck without a heated seat. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you again on the next Papé Toolkit. Hi, my name is Jason Hughes. I'm a territory manager out of Eugene, Oregon. I'm also a large property owner and own a lot of the equipment that you see featured in these videos. I hope you find this content helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below.